everyone's chit-chatting and I go hello and everyone, all the wee heads just raise up like this. Are you having a lovely time at Game On Expo? I can't hear you. Let's give a whoop and a cheer. Can I hear you? Game On Expo, let's go. That's it. Have we got any Red Dead Redemption fans in here? Sir, you're a lit. There's one guy in the back going, yeah! Like, amazing. Okay, are you ready for the next panel? Yes. Oh my God. You're lit. Can you come to all of my panels, sir? Oh my God. Okay, please give a huge round of applause for two of my favourite people. Let's introduce them. Yes, it's Rob Wiethoff and Roger Clark. Huge round of applause. Keep it going, you guys, till we get to the stage. Keep it going. Come on, louder. I've just made my list of favourite people at panels ever. Thank you very, very much. And thank you for the huge round of applause, you guys. You guys are lovely. You can take the mics off if you want, or just have them here.
This feels kind of cool. Yeah. I feel like I'm about to record a studio session album. Yeah.
What would you call your first album, Roger?
Oh, I have no. You said there were going to be easy questions, Claire. She lied to me just over there. She said, "I'm just going to be a few softballs." I don't know. What should my Lenny? Let's call it Lenny. Lenny.
Oh yeah. Guys, it is so nice to see you again.
No, you too.
I always love chatting to these guys, and the last time I saw you both, it was a year and a half ago in Scotland.
That's right.
Which was crazy. So did you enjoy my homeland? Did you enjoy it?
I had been before. That was your first time, wasn't it, Rob?
Yeah. No, but it's beautiful. And let me just move this a little closer. No, it's beautiful. We did the, what was it called? The Royal Mile, I think, right?
Yes.
You start at this castle on top of a hill, and you walk down this really cool street.
Yeah.
Lined with bars that we found all those. And really, a beautiful place though. Really enjoyed it. Yes.
Great. It's a great place. Loads of stone, beautiful architecture.
We definitely found all the bars.
Yeah.
It was
You found an owl.
I did. I found a great owl.
It was great. You guys had already started when I had arrived. Roger was like, hey! I wanted to talk about games because we're at Game On Expo. I've spoken to Roger many times before about games for my podcast and everything else. I think we discovered that we were like game twins or something.
Yeah, we played a lot of the same stuff.
A lot of the same things. I kept going, wait a minute. Let's start with you and then we'll go to you, Rob. Tell me about some of your favourite games growing up.
Well, I started out on the Atari.
Yes.
And I played that famous, I think they made a documentary about it, that horrible E.T. game. Yeah, I played that, but I didn't know any better. I thought it was amazing. But that was the only game before or since that I completed, but I didn't know that I had completed it. It was that bad. I was just walking around like, oh, okay, I found the phone. Phone home. Where is everybody? But yeah, that was my first thing, and then bowling, the pixelated guy throwing the bowling ball. Graduated to a Nintendo, then a SNES. I could play Street Fighter 2 with my eyes closed.
Yes.
Blanca was my guy.
Oh.
On the SNES, Blanca was the best, but I think in the arcade version you might go for Chun-Li or someone, or Guile maybe, but yeah, I could beat M. Bison with my eyes closed with one hand as Blanca. I cheated a little bit though, because I would have someone tell me whether he was to the left or the right of me. But yeah.
With assistance.
Yeah.
And I like the idea of E.T. phoning home and them going, yeah, we'll come and get you. Nobody arrives. E.T.'s just stranded on Earth.
Yeah, just in the soccer parking lot, just stranded.
Totally. He's there with like a bag and some alcohol going, oh, they've left me. Rob, what about you? Games growing up?
I would play Spelunker. Was that a game? Does that sound familiar? Is it Atari, I think, right?
Yes.
And Pitfall. And then got a Nintendo and did, everything that, I guess Super Mario Brothers came with the console, I think, right? So really enjoyed that, Zelda and Metroid, and even like tennis, and it was so cool. But then my parents kind of chased me out of the house. Just get out, you're sitting in here too much, and that was kind of the end of it for me, unfortunately. But I did enjoy it while I still had my freedom.
But you were a big music fan growing up as well. You're really big into music.
I do love music.
Yeah.
So my hometown, I don't know, John Mellencamp, who's getting old now, but John Cougar Mellencamp sings a song called Small Town, and that's the town that I grew up in. So I guess when you live in a town where you've got a world famous musician, you kind of gravitate towards that music anyway. But yeah,
100%. I felt like that growing up in Glasgow because it's such a small city. It's not like New York or LA. So anyone famous from Glasgow, you know what it's like. You're like, oh my God, like, so you have to like become obsessed with them.
yeah.
You had those two ginger twins, didn't you? I would walk 5,000 miles and I would walk. Were they Glasgow or somewhere else?
I'm going to pretend that you are not speaking now.
Hey, what happened to my microphone?
Turn it off. Turn it down. Oh my God, everywhere you go, it's that way where they
Sorry.
go. Oh, it's the Proclaimers. That's what you're talking about. Do you know what though? Growing up, I used to hate it, and now I've softened to it because I'm like, you can't be bothered being angry about stuff anymore. Just like, oh, it is what it is. Did you feel like that growing up? Were there things that were kind of uncool to you growing up that you think, oh, you know what? It's okay now. It's all right.
Sure. Like my dad's music, I thought was pretty lame because he was like Sinatra and like the 40s big band stuff, and I appreciate that now. And I would just going back to games. My dad used to scream at me to get off Mike Tyson's Punch Out, for example, and all that. And now I get to like. First of all, just thank you guys, thank you everyone. We know you guys drive hours on end and you stand in line for ages, and we know that this isn't cheap, but you guys honor us. Thank you for your support. You are awesome. Outposts for life. We love you, guys. But then when I speak to so many of you and you tell me, oh, me and my granddad, this game brought us together, because we didn't have a lot in common. And then he's just started seeing me playing it, and I've heard so many versions of that story. It absolutely warms my heart. I can't believe it. It's something I never expected. Thinking back, get off that damn thing! My dad would be screaming at me. He would be turning over in his grave now. That's insane.
I love that. The Red Dead community are absolutely wonderful people.
Yes, they are.
They're so wonderful. I know, Rob, you make a special, you all do. Sorry, please don't poke your eye out. Right. Health and safety. Health and safety. But Rob, I know you do Instagram lives, and you really get to know folks online as well.
Yeah.
What was the thought behind that? You just were like, I want to know the fans a bit more. Let's just talk to them.
Yeah, well, so we get to meet so many cool people. All of you, when you come up, it's just really awesome. And there's a lot of talent. And I'm sure that there's a lot of talent out there that's not shared with us. But there's a lot that is. And so I've met some really, really cool people that I think, I've got this platform where I can, have maybe a bigger reach than some of these people do. And I'm very fortunate to have it. But I think, some of these people, we need to all know who they are and celebrate them too. So I think, why not? I'm fortunate enough to be in a position where if I weren't for in Red Dead Redemption, nobody would know who I am, but I am. Mm-hmm. So some of these other people, I think, they're now, some of them, going on to do actual really cool things on their own. Not because of me, because of them, but sometimes people just need a little, hey, everybody, look at this. And so I think that if I have an opportunity to do that, then I want to try, of course.
A wee boost.
Yeah.
You're giving them a wee boost.
Yeah.
I like that. Is there anything that you've learned from speaking to folks that really surprised you? That you thought, wow, that's incredible, surprising?
I guess something that I learned, I think, because I grew up in a really small town, and then I went to a big I went to Indiana University, which is a really big school, and yeah, we got some Hoosiers out there. Right on. But I really enjoyed talking to people from different parts of the country. And what I enjoyed so much about it is, yeah, so you grew up in New York City. And to me, at that time, I'd never been there. I'd only heard how scary it is and how big and how tall the buildings are and all these crazy things. But I realized that no matter who we're talking to, so much of all of us is the same. You know what I mean? And it makes it like really. I just wish that we would all talk to each other more, because of course we look different. We have different cultures, different backgrounds, whatever. But we all seem to be very similar once we sit down and talk. And I think that I've learned that in college probably first, but now that I've been exposed to even more people from different places, I really, really find comfort in that, and I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we're all in the one room. I'm looking out, and you're seeing everyone's got something in common. We're all here, which is kind of wonderful.
Yeah.
This is a massive turnout.
I know.
Yeah, thank you all so
really
much.
filled up. I love it so much. Let's talk about getting into character and acting, darling. Let's talk about acting, darling. I love how you got into acting almost. You were like, I'm not sure I want to do it. And now here we are. But I wanted to talk more about process, which I always find interesting with different actors. I know there's a lot of research you might have to do, getting into character, backstory, but are there other ways that you prepared for these characters, like listening to certain music, having certain habits, taking on sort of different sort of daily routines, that kind of thing that gets you into the zone kind of thing?
I got a cool story. So, part of Arthur, when I was first auditioning for the role, I was working with a guy from Flagstaff, Arizona, and he showed me he did an impression of his grandfather, who was he was in and around, an older man who had long since passed, and part of that was the beginning of Arthur. I threw in a bit of Southern in there too, but yeah, Flagstaff, Arizona, can lay a bit of a claim to Arthur. Yeah, I was working on that over 10 years ago.
Nice. Yeah. I love that. What about you, Rob? Anything that wasn't just straight on research that inspired you?
I guess through Red Dead Redemption, I didn't really understand what was going on for. Everybody's like, yeah, we know. But no, because Rockstar gives you the script only in sections, and the sections are not in order. So I knew that I was a cowboy in this game, but I didn't know who this guy was. I knew he was pretty angry. That became clear. Pretty frustrated dude. But as time went on, I started to realize, okay, this is who this guy is. And then it reminded me, honestly, of some of the people, because I did construction work, and sometimes you run into some guys that can be pretty rough and loud and say things without thinking sometimes, that kind of whole thing. So maybe I drew from that some, like real life people that I knew, like, you're just a loud idiot, aren't you? So maybe.
I love that. Well, of course, life inspires work, so look you. Okay, I wanted to ask about, some surprising things or situations you found yourself in from doing these roles. Of course, you find yourself at Comic-Cons, in different towns around the world, and that's really cool. But apart from that, the traveling and the Comic-Cons, have there been moments where you thought, well, this is weird? Like, oh my goodness, I'm doing this now? Like perhaps something you would have never have thought being actors.
Just last weekend we had an amazing experience. We got to go to Knoxville. We were in Knoxville for a convention.
Yes!
Yeah, right on. We got volunteered. I love it. And so this professor is teaching a history class through Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, so we went and we surprised the class. That was really cool. That's a cool, awesome campus. And he's writing a book too. There's the plug. I'm narrating the audiobook. Yeah, Red Dead's history is coming out soon. Yeah, and it's all about American history in the context of Red Dead and what was right and what wasn't, but more about what was right. And I think it's awesome because, like what you were mentioning earlier, you guys come and you say how much the game meant to you, and it means the world to us. But it took a village. It took literally thousands of people to make that game. And this book addresses a lot of the research that went into it, which is awesome. And I'm almost finished reading it now, and I'm going to start recording it. Red Dead's History, University of Tennessee. It was awesome.
Like that they're educating people through the game, or with the game as the backbone.
Games are educational.
Yeah. I bought a book. It wasn't the video game, but it was The Philosophy of Battlestar Galactica.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it's incredible because I will send you the link. It is so great. So yeah, like fiction, games, TV, like it's not nonsense. It expands your brain.
We're going to have books about like the philosophy of Minecraft and all this stuff. It's crazy.
What did the students think when you guys walked out? And what were you doing? What did you say to them? Like, what was the reaction?
You walked in first.
Yeah, they much like the way you guys responded now. I mean, they honor it. I mean, it was a wonder I could get my head through the door, Claire. Yeah, it was really cool. And we did Q&A, and it's just awesome to see how much the work of us and our colleagues has reached so many people, and it's over half a decade old now as well. I know a lot of you got into it during COVID. I know I certainly did. I got back into it during COVID. I was living vicariously, and going out into the fields and doing hunting and whatnot. And it just blows my mind that it still has the influence that it does. And yeah, it's a real honor.
It's the first game I ever streamed on Twitch 6 years
Wow.
ago or something, and I was on my console with I don't have my setup like I do now, but I'd never streamed on Twitch before, and I thought I'll choose a nice easy little game. Let's choose Red Dead Redemption 2, and the hardest thing I found was chatting and riding the horse.
Sometimes I would, if I was in a town and I instead of getting on my horse, I'd accidentally punch someone. And then like 10 minutes later, I got a bounty for $300. I just wanted to get on my horse. We did a Twitch stream during COVID as well. And that was I'm up to about level 45, 46. And we had some griefers throwing dynamite at us, and then the whole server just went for them. It was a sight to behold. I don't think they're still not back on that server.
The amount of dogs that I walked over with a horse, I killed a lot of dogs.
Oh no!
By accident. Like, oh well, let's move on. R.I.P. Dog 5. I'm sorry. So many dogs died through my playthrough. I've got a couple more questions to ask you, but before I do, I'm going to ask people to start queuing up here. If you have a question for Rob or Roger, or both of them together, please start queuing up. Don't be shy. We've got somebody coming from the back. Please come down. Yes, straight up. And please just think of one question as well, so please start queuing up. Okay, I've got two more questions for you guys, Roger and Rob. I've got a serious one and I've got a kind of fun one. Okay, all right guys, you ready? Serious and fun questions. So, serious question, I have to ask this. Storytelling has been something that has been prevalent since the dawn of time. This is why you are actors, you're telling stories, And I know that recently we've got technology now moving on, and it's definitely prevalent in your business. It's going to change things. I'm not going to ask what you think about it, but I want to ask if there's a way we can live with it, or you can live with it. Have you thought about that going into the future? How you might live with it with your careers?
Yeah, well, we have to live with it. It ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, Skynet's here.
Yeah, I think it's, if used in the right way, I think it's going to be a very useful tool. And it's going to assist a lot of industries and a lot of people. But personally, I have issues when it's used to take from other people's work, when it's used to misrepresent people and misrepresent their voices, I've seen Arthur say some things on TikTok that I really would prefer he didn't, I know, and when it first came out like 6-7 months ago, it's just a bit of fun, what's your problem, man? Well, there's grandparents getting phone calls from their grandchildren now saying that they need bail money, and it's some fella in India, It's not harmless fun. It's not. But, if used in the correct way, it's going to be an incredibly useful tool, but it is changing everything. I mean, we've seen a lot of layoffs in the game industry now, and there's just going to be a huge, huge reshift of everything, and I have no idea what the future holds. It's adapt or die, and it's always been that way, but now it's like, you got to adapt faster.
100%. What about you, Rob?
Yeah, I completely agree. I don't know enough about it, honestly, to really expand on what he said, but I've had people actually come to my table and ask me to write certain things, and I'm like, that's not the game. And they're like, no, that's what you said and I think, no, I would never say that, so it can be, it's weird. That part is really weird and not cool. But who knows? Who knows what our experience will be going to movies and playing games in the future.
Yeah.
Who knows what will.
It actually is, sorry to use it, it's the Wild West, because it really is, sorry, God, that was really cheesy. Hi guys, I'm really good at my job and stuff. Okay, I'm gonna ask you a silly question, and then we're gonna go to these lovely fans. Okay, I was having a conversation this morning about hotel pillows, and I wanted to ask you what you prefer, how many pillows you think is acceptable when you're at a hotel. I like one pillow to lie on, but they give you like 600 pillows.
Yeah.
How many do you like pillow fort yourself?
I like two.
That's sensible.
Yeah, and at home I have a hard one and a soft one.
Oh.
Yeah, I sleep, my head's on the hard one, and then I hug the soft one.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, or I'll use it like just to, because sometimes if I do that,
Yes.
I wake up, my shoulders are starting to get stiff.
Yes.
Freaking old, So that the soft pillow helps that, Claire.
Got it. Practical and sensible.
That's my system. So I don't need any more than two.
Love it. What's your pillow system?
Normally at home, just one.
Okay.
But the hotel, you lay down.
Confuses you.
You lay on the pillow that looks like it's really, really nice, and then your head just goes, you go right through it like it's not there. So you go to two, and then somehow, it's difficult.
Do you like a cold pillow? Do you turn it up, do you flip it?
Yeah, I like
Yeah, me too, yeah.
Can we, cheers for cold pillows? Cheers for if you don't care. I love it. I've never said cheers for cold pillows before. That's a first. I love it. Let's have a round of applause for the first part of the panel, please. Okay, we have a big line to get through, so one question each, please. And what's your name and what's your question? Is it all? Yeah, right into the mic.
Hi guys. My name is Isaac. My question is, what was your favorite part during development of Red Dead 2 or 1?
Oh, goodness. Well, I think the friendships that we made really is what I take from it. I think my favorite scene was the one at the very end where Arthur gives John his hat. But that was really a cool experience for a lot of reasons. Mainly, when you do the performance capture, you do all this stuff, and then at the very end they have what they call a glue shoot, and it's little minor things that need to be redone. Sometimes I don't know enough about it to explain why it would happen, but...
So you can blend one animation into another, make it look seamless,
Yeah, or somehow an arm gets stuck in a weird position and they can't fix it. So you have to just redo walking. You don't even say anything sometimes. You just do these things to fix weird problems. Anyway, so we did this glue shoot, and that's supposed to be the last thing that you do, but we still hadn't done that scene. And then when we finally got that scene, that was like the end of the performance capture part of it, which lasted for 4 years, right?
5,
something, yeah. So
to the day.
by then, we knew exactly what that meant for the story. We also knew that that was it for performance capture. It was just a really big moment for a lot of reasons. So.
What about you, Roger?
I always liked, I second what Rob said, but I always liked everything when it was the whole gang, you know? There's not many moments where the gang celebrates, but when you rescue Sean and bring him back, remember the big old party at the campfire, and Sean and Karen go having the conversation in the tent? That was a lot of fun. And when you bring Jack back after the Bronte whole debacle, that was awesome. And props to Gabriel, because Javier, the guy who plays Javier, he played the guitar, and he did it for real. And with the balls on your fingers, that's not easy. But he did an amazing job. So we worked on it for so long, we became a gang. The actors became just as much of a gang as the Vanderlyn guys, because we knew each other for so long. So whenever it was all of us together doing scenes, that was a really special moment, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
My takeaway from that is playing guitar with balls in your fingers is not easy.
No.
I love that so much. Hello, my friend, right into the mic, name and question.
Hi there, mister. Hey there, mister.
Hey.
My name's Jordan, and I've had one question, which was, what scene would you say took the most amount of takes to get right, and which one took you got in one try, it was just perfect as is?
Who's going to start?
I made a lot of mistakes, man. I don't know.
Yeah. I know one, we almost never did it in one. Because even if you loved it, you still do one more. It almost always happens. But one we got in one, you know, when you just sit around on the campfire and one of the gang members will just start talking, you know? When Bill tells a story about how much he honors and how much his loyalty is to Dutch, and he talks about the time where he first met Dutch. Stephen Palmer knocked that out in one.
Yeah.
That was awesome, yeah.
Those were awesome because you learned so much about the characters, you know, when you would sit and listen to those things. And so sometimes we would work with each other to help the person, you know, just say it out loud. You'd sit there and read it and correct them if they missed words or whatever. But a lot of those things, if I was in the scene there, I would be hearing that for the first time. And I loved them. I really enjoyed them. But yeah, Roger's right. Even if you did one that was just, everything was great, the director loved it, he would always do one or two more just to see if there's anything else that surprisingly made it better, whatever.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much. Thank you very much.
I'll tell you, there was one part that I couldn't stop laughing. There's a bit where you go into a hotel room and it's the wrong hotel room, and there's a guy on the can and he's trying to do a number 2, but he's constipated and he can't. And then he's like, "Oh, can I have some privacy, please?" And I went, "Oh, sorry," but I could not. I think that's all I had to say. It was like, "Oh, sorry." I couldn't stop laughing, man. Because it was a guy dressed in spandex sat on pipes resembling a toilet. And it's one of those moments where you go, "Wow, this is ridiculous." Couldn't stop laughing.
Thanks, guys. Hello, I know that's a bit high for you, but if you can reach, yeah, that's it. What's your name and question? Straight into the mic.
Hi, my name's Alyssa. My question is, what are you guys' personal experiences from either playing the game or being a part of it and acting it out? Anytime, your inner Arthur or inner John has, jumped out, or just, a personal experience from just being there and acting things out. How was that?
One thing I loved, Rob would often tell me, "Oh, we were doing this really cool thing in the epilogue today," and I'm like, "You know what? Don't tell me." Because that was when I was playing it, the epilogue was the first time I didn't know what was going to happen. So that was really enjoyable for me. So I was like, "You know what? Don't tell me." And of course, me and Rob shared a lot of the side missions. You know, he would do it for one, and then I would ADR it as Arthur afterwards, and vice versa. That happened a lot. So it was fun to see the side missions that you had done, you know, and that was pretty cool too.
So doing, who knows what it was that I was doing as John, right? I picked something up. I remember picking it up. In real life, whatever this thing was, it wasn't heavy. So I picked it up and was walking around with it, and maybe it was a bale of hay or who knows what John would have picked up. But the director, when I got done, was like, you're so strong. You know, it's not heavy. He said, you gotta sell it. You gotta make sure people know that it's heavy, because it's not heavy, but pretend it is. So then I would really make sure when I would pick things up or whatever, that I would always like really grunt to try to sell it, you know? But also in real life, I got so tuned into that. Like, okay, I'm never gonna have him tell me again, make fun of me and tell me. But then I also did a construction job at home. When I wasn't working on the game, in between I would go do the construction game. So I would be working and drop a nail or something and go to pick it up and be like, yeah! And then everybody at work's like, what is wrong with you, man?
I like the idea that maybe you're in the kitchen and you grab a tin of beans and go, oh! Your wife's like, what are you doing?
I couldn't turn it off. It's terrible.
That's a good question. Thank you, my dear.
Thank you.
Hello, friend. What's your name and question?
Hi, I'm Jorge. I'm glad you didn't break a wheel on your way here. What would you say is like the most like peaceful mission in Red Dead?
You're making us think now. Man, I thought it was going to be softball questions. Peaceful mission. The stuff with the photographer, Albert Mason, that's kind of cool. Hunting with the one-legged dude. What was his name? Hamish, yeah. Those were pretty cool, yeah. A lot of the stuff that's peaceful, I mean, there's loads of peaceful stuff in the game, but not a lot of them are missions, though, you know? It's just when you decide to just go off and do your own thing, you know? That, to me, I really enjoyed. And that was, you know, and those are the moments that my family would probably watch as well, that they most enjoyed watching, too, because they love looking at the beautiful scenery and the horses and everything. So, yeah, I would say hunting, fishing, you know, really peaceful moment. Those were the best. And then an O'Driscoll would show up and you blow his head off.
What about you, Rob? You want to add anything? Same sort of answer?
Well, I played through the first chapter, and that's as far as I've gotten. Really bad, like really bad. But yeah, none of that was real pleasant, I guess.
Thank you. Good question. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hello, friends. Right up into the mic. What's your name and question?
A little bit. My name's Ryan. I was just wondering, one time I said to my friends, rest in peace, the Bannerland gang, you guys would have loved John Denver. So what would Arthur and John's favorite John Denver songs be?
Oh.
I think they'd like Rocky Mountain High.
Yeah, absolutely. I like West Virginia. What's the West Virginia song? Take Me Home Country Roads. That's my favorite. Yeah.
I don't know many John Denver songs, unfortunately.
Take Me Home Country Roads is a great one.
Country, yeah,
That works.
yeah, that one.
Good to know.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you. Hello, friend. Right into the mic. What's your name and question?
Hey there, I'm Robert, and by the way, Roger, amazing shirt.
Thank
One of the
you.
greatest movies of all time, right there.
Yeah.
Yo, Jimbo.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. You're based on Fistful of Dollars is based on this.
Yes. My question actually is related to film, since Western films is such a big part of what may have informed your guys' performances. What influences, if any, did you take from specific Western films when you did your performance for your roles?
Well, I'll start. This guy right here, Toshiro Mifune, he was a huge inspiration to Arthur Morgan. He's one of the best Japanese actors I know of. Definitely one of the best of the 20th century. Because he could be dangerous and stoic one minute, and then the next minute, you know, he could be quite lighthearted and funny. And you know, there's been many comparisons of the samurai and the outlaw in cinematic history, and that's something that I really took with me when I was working on Arthur. I love Clint Eastwood, but I gotta say, I think John Wayne was more of an influence on Arthur, because John Wayne has more of a wry, kind of dry sense of humor. Clint Eastwood didn't really say that much often, you know. So those two were big influences, and of course Rob was a huge influence too, because John Marston's the OG, and he always will be, you know. And there wouldn't be a Red Dead 2 if it wasn't for how amazing the first Red Dead Redemption was. So yeah, those are the things that I took with me and was working on. I'm a huge fan of Westerns, and there's loads of little bits, like the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. We all seen that train robbing mission. That's straight out of that movie. When Dutch and Arthur jump off the cliff, that's the Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. There's loads of little nods that Rockstar put in there that shows their appreciation and knowledge of Westerns, and I love that stuff.
But you, Rob.
I don't know that Roger actually taught me what I do know about some of those old spaghetti westerns, because we would hang out sometimes and he'd say, yeah, you know this, right? And I think, no, but let's watch it for a second. It's really cool, whatever. But weren't they all like in Italian? Isn't that what?
They were a lot of them were filmed in Spain, but they were done Italian crew and Italian directors, yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, see, that's what he taught me. I know. But I love Tombstone, and I love 310 to Yuma, and those kind of movies were so cool. They started, when they started making them again, I was really into those. So,
Thank you so much.
Hello there, what's your name and what's your question?
My name is Anthony. I just want to say something to Arthur Morgan. Why didn't you have faith in Dutch's plan, man? You could have gone to Tahiti!
We forgot to mention mangoes.
Have you actually been to Tahiti? Or?
I haven't, no.
Oh, you should visit.
Been Hawaii, but not Tahiti, no.
Thank
That's
you.
it.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, my dear. What's your name? What's your question?
Hello, I'm Jacob. So, pretty much every Rockstar game has been, on every platform, Xbox, PlayStation, PC. I was just wondering, what do you think of the fact that Red Dead Redemption 1 has never gotten a PC port?
Thoughts?
yeah, I'm sorry for that. If that's what you're looking for.
I can see Rob's eyes. He was genuine sadness.
So
Sorry.
I have talked to them for ages about doing that, and they won't listen to me. I don't know why. There's got to be a reason. They know what they're doing.
I wouldn't write it off. I wouldn't put it past them one of these days. They'll do it. Yeah. They always wait. They always do the consoles first. They always do the consoles first, and then about a year later they do the PC version. But yeah, Red Dead 1 didn't get a PC version. Well, I don't know what to tell you, Jacob. Yeah, it's out of our pay grade.
Thank you so much. Hello, my friend. Straight up into the mic. What's your name and question?
Hello, my name is Raphael, and my question was, what were the first games you worked on when you started your career in voice acting?
Red Dead Redemption. He's got more.
One of my first jobs it was for a British fruit machine, slot machine, and it was called Reservoir Frogs, and they wanted a Michael Madsen sound-alike, and this was in the UK, this was in Wales, and I was born in New Jersey, so I could, oh my God. So I was Reservoir Frogs. It was a slot machine. It was my first foray into it. Yeah.
Do you remember any of the lines?
Yeah. Cherries. Bananas. Watermelon. And then the other one was like, let's go to work. And I remember the art for it was a frog, and he was holding a human ear. Like his Reservoir Dogs, yeah. And I don't know why the frog was holding a human ear, but I guess he couldn't hold a frog ear because frogs don't have ears. So, yeah.
That's a great question. Thank you very much. Straight up into the mic. Hello, friends. Name and question.
Hey, I'm Brandy, and I was just wondering if Micah never went double agent and snitched, do you think the gang would have successfully stuck together and made it away from the lock?
So, I don't know if he was the rat. I mean, Milton said he was, but what does that mean? How do we know he was the rat? Did they need a rat? I mean, Arthur mentions it throughout the game. We're not being quiet, guys. We're making loads of, as Dutch would put it, noise. I don't know if there was a rat. Yeah. I mean, Micah is obviously a horrible, horrible person. But I wouldn't take that for granted, Milton may have been just trying to divide the gang, I wouldn't put it past him. I mean, if he probably was the rat, but I don't know if he was. A lot of people think Abigail could have been the rat. Now, I don't think she would have done that because it would have put John in a lot of danger. I don't think she would have done that. But yeah, I don't know if there was a rat. What do you reckon, Rob?
He's got a good point. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but I wonder, Dutch obviously was very heavily influenced by Micah. So whether he was a rat or not, he did a whole lot of damage, no doubt about it. But yeah, you might be right. The divide and conquer thing, maybe Milton had some, had to do something.
Thank you for your
Thank you so
question.
much.
Thank you. Straight on up. Okay, you're going to have to adjust that right into the mic, name and question.
Hi, I'm Alex, and my question is, what thing from the modern world do you think each of your characters would like the most or be most excited about?
Airplanes, maybe? Machines make a man fly, is that what he said? Something like that.
I remember Arthur really fancy. He thought Albert Mason's camera was really cool. So yeah, he might be a movie buff, or if he like filming and stuff like that. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Hello, my friend. Just adjust the mic for your height. And what's your name and question?
Yeah. Well, my name is AJ. I was wondering if you can do a voice impression of "That's a Good Girl."
That's a good girl.
Hi there. What's your name and question?
I'm Zach, and I was just wondering, when you're calling customer service, do you ever get recognized for your voice?
No, if I ever, and when I do call customer service, the last thing I want to talk about, because when do we ever call customer service and it's a good thing? I'm usually really pissed off. I've been on hold forever. I will tell you one thing though, my mother-in-law, she was on hold, and I was talking to the Apple store or something, and she just brought up, my son-in-law's Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 2, and then the guy on the other end is like, no way, are you serious? Oh my gosh, this is so unprofessional of me, but is there any way you could get him to, yeah, my mother-in-law, and she thought that was hilarious.
Thank you very much. Great question. Thank you. Hello, just adjust the mic and straight up. What's your name and question?
Hi, I'm Crystal. I just had a question. So as we know in Red Dead you can do virtually anything. Do you guys ever go crazy with, going the minimum low honor and just having fun? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely tried. I tried it out. I don't think that's probably, if I really played the entire game, I don't think I would want to do that through the whole thing. But I think we all gotta give it a shot, right? See what it feels like. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't.
I'd find a really narrow corridor in Saint Denis, and I would just make a policeman mountain.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you. Hello, my friend. What is your name? What is your question? Straight into the mic.
Hello, I'm Jeremiah. I have a question for John and Arthur. What marriage advice do you guys have?
As John, or? If you have a really cool ornament, probably something like a squirrel, glue it where you want it to be. Then you don't ever have to find it, you don't have to fight over where it is. Just glue it down. Solve a lot of potential problems.
Arthur is loyal to a fault. I think loyalty would be what Arthur would promote in a good marriage. Yeah, loyalty is very important. Communication, compromise, and partnership.
There you go. Hope that helps squirrels and loyalty. Good luck with your marriage. Thank you very much. Hello, friend. What's your name? What's your question?
My name is Dave, and I was wondering if you guys had to play a different character in Red Dead Redemption, who would you pick?
Good question.
Oh, goodness, yeah, it would be awesome to play Arthur Morgan, of course, that would be awesome. It would be so cool, though, really, honestly, to play any of them. But I don't know. I mean, everybody that did these characters did them so well. I just don't know how to answer the question. I think, but I love the question.
I told some of you already, like the whole time that we were making Red Dead 2, I was playing Red Dead 1 a lot, over and over again. I would definitely go for Landon Ricketts, or maybe, what was the sheriff of Armadillo?
Marshall.
Marshall Johnson was pretty badass as well, yeah. Those two, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi there, what's your name and question?
My name's Nicole, and what are your guys' favorite Western movies?
Tombstone for me.
Yeah, Tombstone is awesome. I know a lot of you were there last year. I wasn't, but I have been to Tombstone, and I remember I was in a gift shop when Tombstone was playing, and I was just talking to the cashier, and I says, "Wow, you got that on?" And she's like, "Yeah." I said, how many times? Oh, a lot of times. A lot of times. It's on every day. And it's on every day on repeat. Can I help you?
Sounds like when I was working in a record store in London years and years ago, and it was Christmas time when they would play Feed the World, Band-Aids, over and over again, and it haunts me to this day. Like, I hate Christmas songs to this day. I'm like, oh my god, awful. Hello, my friend. Name, question.
Hey, I'm RJ, and in Red Dead 2, who is your guys' most despised character, personally?
Well, if you make a wrong turn and wind up, God, how do you even get in that situation? Where you get molested.
Oh, the guy out in the swamp.
That was terrible. Do not like that dude. God.
What about you, Roger? Same?
I'm trying to think. Ross sucks. Ross, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello, my friend. What is your name? What's your question?
I'm Yancy, and I was wondering if you've seen my friend Gavin. Really though, any insight on the mystery of Gavin? Any closure?
He always makes me laugh, that guy. Yeah, he knocked that out in like half a day. And I remember, we didn't see him because, or did you work with him? I didn't. But I remember hearing everyone laugh when they were doing it. And yeah, and then when I played it, I realized why. That was so funny. What I did not expect was to see him again in the epilogue. That was...
Thank you. Thank you, my dear. Hello, straight up, right into the mic. What's your name and question?
My name is Grace. This is more of an acting question, I guess, but was there maybe a moment before either of you got the role of Arthur or John that you maybe questioned your life path or your career in acting, and how did you mitigate that before you got the role at all?
Absolutely, yes. I had been an actor for about 12 years before I booked Arthur, and I had only been making a living exclusively from it for about maybe a year. So for the first 11 years of my career, I was poor, and I was struggling. I was really struggling. And you know, a lot of people, they'll pursue a career in acting with a plan B in mind, and in my experience, those people almost always resort to plan B. And it's tough. It's the best job in the world when you're working, but it's the worst job in the world when you're not, and it can be very discouraging. I would just, excuse my language, but what I would always say is if you sling enough shit at the wall, something will eventually stick. And that's what I keep trying to tell myself.
I didn't know. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I decided I'm going to move to LA and be an actor. I'm going to see what happens. And I was fortunate that I got a good job as a bartender at a popular bar on Sunset Boulevard, so I was always making money. So it was great because I was making money, but also I kind of lost that, you know, starving. Or if you're starving, you go find food. You do what you can to. And I got real comfortable, I think, not doing everything that I could have possibly done to get more jobs and stuff. But I did think, like, at a certain point, I thought, all right, I'm gonna have to decide, do I want to do this bartending job for the rest of my life and get the odd commercial or something, you know, that just makes me still be able to say, yeah, I'm an actor. But like knowing I'm really not, though. Definitely not what I wanted to accomplish, you know. So yeah, I think that's probably part of it, you know. Some people have a way in and can just find themselves making a movie, but there are so few of those people. And but yeah, I mean, if that's a situation you're in or someone that you know is in, what else are you gonna do? Just quit and then feel like I still want to do it? Though, don't quit. Just stay with it and enjoy it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great question. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hello, my friend. Name and question.
My name's Matthew. She already kind of answered my question myself, in a way, but I was going to ask, based on your guys' experience, what's your tips to get into acting?
He definitely knows more than that.
Oh, I wouldn't say that, but for me, I think theater is the best place to start. Because the audience is right there. And they will teach you if you learn to listen to them as much as they should be listening to you. It's a organic experience. It's a shared experience. You know, if you start out in film, and there's loads of great film actors who've never stepped foot on stage, but you know, you do your work on the day, and then an editor deals with it, and the DP has put his camera her camera wherever they wanted it to be, and the director gave you notes, and that performance isn't going to be exposed to an audience until maybe 6 to 12 months afterwards. And by that point, it's too late to change anything anyway, you know? But with theater, you can learn as you go, and what might have bombed one night, you can learn from and correct the next. So for me, if you're starting out, I would definitely pursue theater, because that, for me, I think is the best place to start. That's where you will really learn your chops.
Want to add anything, Rob? Because your journey was slightly different.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess I had a whole lot of luck to be anywhere near where I am right now, of course. But I wouldn't have had that luck if I didn't put myself out there. And a lot of people, I think, again, just think somehow this is going to work out. I'm not ready yet, but I really want it to work out. Well, don't worry about being ready. Get yourself in a position to have opportunities.
Just work on it and just fall down and stuff, I guess.
Yeah, audition for things.
Embrace failure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm almost done with school, so I'm like, that's kind of one to just embrace failure, just in anything. So.
Well, good luck to you. Good luck with everything. Thank you for your question. Thank you very much. Hello, friend. What's your name? What's your question?
I'm Sid, and this is, I guess, mostly for Rob. What was the process between recording Red Dead 1 and Undead Nightmare? And do you have any, like, standout experiences with them?
It was very, very much the same. Well, I guess one thing that was very different is that I lived in LA when we did Red Dead Redemption. Pretty much as soon as we wrapped on that, I moved back to Indiana. And then pretty much got settled and moved and then they called me to do Undead Nightmare, which they did in New York. So that was different, but as far as the process, the technical aspects of it, it was very similar. Because you wear these performance capture suits and the camera can't see who the person is wearing it, they just assign the avatar to whichever person they, you know. Some days during Undead Nightmare, they wouldn't have enough people there to fill the room with zombies, whatever. So, because I was there in a performance capture suit, they would say, all right, you're not John, you're just a zombie. And I would have to, you know, do my zombie thing. And every time these guys, they'd say, cut, Rob, you're the worst zombie in the world. Terrible.
Can you please show us?
Thank you, Roger. I was going to ask for zombie tips.
I was so bad, and it was awesome. But yeah, I think that was one thing that I enjoyed, but also thought, yeah, no, we're done with all that.
Thank you. So this will be the last question, this person here. For everyone who didn't make it, you're here today, you're here tomorrow, right? So please come see those guys because they will answer questions. Is that okay? Yeah, absolutely. So if everyone goes back to their seats, just this gentleman here. So sorry, but they are here Saturday and Sunday. So, hello, last question. Name and question.
My name's Cody. Nice to meet you guys. Why didn't you just shoot Agent Milton when you were fishing with Jack?
Oh, why didn't I shoot Milton? Yeah, good question. Well, you'd have to ask the writers, but I think he didn't. Jack was right there, you know. Yeah, I saw that. Imagine if he did, man. That would have been a totally different story. Yeah, I mean, the writing is on the wall. I mean, whether it's Milton or not, I think that's one thing that the Red Dead Redemption series puts pretty clear is that if it's not Milton, it's just gonna be Ross. You know, it doesn't matter who it is. The Pinkertons are they're just gonna, what is it Dutch says? He says they're just gonna find another monster, you know? It's the end of the Wild West, and that is one of the biggest sources of conflict within the series. So, yeah, if it wasn't Milton, it would just be someone else. But it may have prolonged it, you know, maybe some more of the gang would have survived, who knows? But yeah, the reason the way I played that scene, as soon as they turned their back on me, I was thinking of doing it. And then I'm like, oh, Jack's right there, you know? That's the way I was going for it. So yeah, I'm really glad you asked the question. It's an excellent question. I think it was because of Jack.
Thank you very much. Can we have a round of applause for the fan question? Some very thoughtful questions. Thank you very, very much, everybody. Rob and Roger, you are both wonderful. Honestly, two of my favourite folks. Aren't they so great? Oh, I just love talking to these guys, and it's always very insightful, so thank you very much. Before we go to a round of applause, I'm going to ask you guys for some help. We're going to do a stage selfie. Okay, you guys up for helping? Yeah.
Lenny!